$945 million raised. 0 working blood tests. Theranos promised 240 lab results from 1 finger prick. It ran almost none of them. 890,000 patient results. Voided. The CEO is now in federal prison in Bryan, Texas. 11 years and 3 months. Elizabeth Holmes faked every blood test on the box, and a $9 billion startup vaporized into a courtroom exhibit. 2003. Palo Alto. Elizabeth Holmes drops out of Stanford chemical engineering at 19 and founds a company she calls Real-Time Cures. A year later, she renames it Theranos, a portmanteau of therapy and diagnosis. The pitch lands like science fiction. 1 drop of blood. A finger prick, no needle. 240 different lab tests run on a single benchtop device she calls the Edison. Results in hours, priced below LabCorp. Priced below Quest. She starts wearing black turtlenecks. She drops her voice into a baritone. She invokes Steve Jobs by name in pitch meetings. By mid-2014, the company hits a $9 billion private valuation. Forbes puts her on the cover as the youngest self-made female billionaire in the world. Theranos has raised around $945 million across multiple rounds. And the device, the one the whole pitch rests on, does not work. Inside the Newark, California lab, the Edison machines did almost nothing. Internal validation, later subpoenaed by federal prosecutors, showed the Edison could perform only about 12 of the 240 advertised tests. And even those, with error margins so wide, the results were clinically useless. So Theranos hid commercial blood analyzers in the back lab, Siemens Advia machines, off-the-shelf hardware. Then they took finger prick samples, tiny volumes, and diluted them so the Siemens machines could process them. Dilution lowers the concentration of whatever you are trying to measure. Hormones, cholesterol, sodium, potassium. The results that came back were not just wrong. They were wrong in directions doctors had no way to verify. Patients walked into Walgreens for a wellness check. They walked out with potassium readings that looked like a heart attack on paper, thyroid numbers that looked like cancer, pregnancy hormones that misread by orders of magnitude. The marketing said proprietary nanotechnology. The reality was a Siemens analyzer running diluted blood. A $200,000 German box doing what Quest already did, only worse. In 2013, 2 young employees walked into the lab and saw it for what it was. Tyler Schultz, 23, grandson of former Secretary of State George Shultz, the same George Shultz who sat on the Theranos board. Erica Chung, a Berkeley graduate working as a lab tech. Both watched proficiency testing get manipulated to pass federal inspections. Both quit. Tyler in April 2014, Erica a few months later. Erica filed a formal complaint with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in September 2014. Tyler became a confidential source for a Wall Street Journal reporter named John Carreyrou. On October 15, 2015, Carreyrou's first story ran on the front page. Title: Hot Startup Theranos has struggled with its blood test technology. Theranos hired David Boies, the litigator who had argued Bush versus Gore, and began threatening both whistleblowers and their families. Tyler's grandfather sided with Theranos for nearly a year. Tyler racked up over $400,000 in legal fees defending himself against his own grandfather's company. He did not back down. CMS arrived in Newark a month after the story dropped. The investor list reads like a hostage tape. Rupert Murdoch, $125 million, his biggest single check ever written. The Walton family, around $150 million. Carlos Slim, about 30. Larry Ellison, Bob Kraft, the DeVos family, Cox Enterprises, total raised, roughly $945 million. Now look at who is missing. No Kleiner Perkins on the biology side. No Third Rock Ventures. No Sequoia. No Andreessen Horowitz Biofund. Not a single major biotech VC put $1 into Theranos, because anyone who could read an assay validation knew the science did not work. So Holmes built a board that could not. Henry Kissinger, James Mattis, William Perry, Sam Nunn, George Shultz, Bill Frist, the only physician, average age over 70, cold warriors, statesmen, generals. Walgreens paid $140 million in advance license fees and opened 40 wellness centers inside Arizona stores. None of them asked the obvious question. In March 2016, CMS revoked the Newark Labs certification. In April, the agency ordered Theranos to void test results. The final number, 890,000 patient results across more than 175,000 patients. Walgreens pulled all 40 Arizona stores, then sued for breach. The two settled in August 2017. Walgreens recovered roughly $25 million on a $140 million advance. Consumers in a class action received $99 vouchers. Rupert Murdoch quietly sold his $125 million stake back to Theranos in 2017 for $1, a tax write-off. Every other investor, Waltons, Slim, Ellison, Kraft, recovered essentially nothing. $945 million in, 0 out, a clean fraction. On January 3, 2022, a federal jury convicted Elizabeth Holmes on 4 counts of investor fraud. The jury acquitted her on the patient fraud counts. Sentence, 11 years and 3 months. She reported to FPC Bryan, Texas, on May 30, 2023. Sunny Balwani, her COO and concealed romantic partner, got 12 years and 11 months, longer than Holmes. The pattern is older than Theranos, hardware fraud that looks like software, a demo that works only on stage, a board built for prestige, money from people who do not understand the product. Next on Forensic Files and Fortunes, FTX, $32 billion vaporized.